Boy, howdy. My YouTube is recommending me a solicitor video. New president just lost a $100,000 court case. And I didn't even know we had a new president. So it's going to be something to check out, maybe. Yeah, content. Okay. There are a few problems in this world that cannot be solved by the judicious application of a really long Ethernet cable. Although, possibly that was one of them. Okay, actually, what we need to do is to start using the GPU, not the Ethernet cable. But in principle, I was right. Uh, Last thing. Holy cow, there's so much to do to set up a stream every single time. That worked? It worked. Yay. Love it when a plan comes together. Let's see. Okay, so this is the Two Notes Foil World Cup. That's just there for a bit of entertainment. Let's go see where they are live on the diving, taekwondo, rhythmic gymnastics, fencing. Today's the 19th. Fencing starts at 8:30. Okay. Men's foil, women's saber. We're gonna not do that. I think what we're gonna do is what we usually do is follow the winner through the bracket, which we can do because the lovely folks at Fencing Vision have uploaded all of the videos, even though, as far as I know, they weren't streamed. So somebody. So, for example, Kaylin Xia won women's epee, so we're gonna watch all of her stuff. This was not in any particular. Okay, 64, 16, but we're looking for 32. 32, 16, 8. Semis, finals. Yeah. Okay. So, no spoilers. Kaylin Xia, back-to-back winner of the University Games. Congrats to her. Starting the second period up to nothing. Okay. Must have been when they turned the camera on. Wimmer, very Hungarian with the extended arm. Xia, a weird mix of Hong Kong and American. She's been to Notre Dame for the past 4 years. Just graduated. Congrats to her. Here she is, being active with the tip, making Wimmer think as she comes in, and just getting so far in that like she missed the first attack, and then Wimmer tried to counterattack, but Xia went so deep that Wimmer just ran herself onto the point. Strong prep action from Wimmer, pushing hard. Gonna see if she manages to build off of that. Steeper than you usually like to see when she doesn't get a touch off of it. Because when you commit that hard, then it's easy to get a counter. Lots of playing chicken here now as we watch them push in and push in. I just started coaching, and one of the things I've noticed is that kids will push and push and push, trying to draw a reaction, and then abort their attack to get the reaction. And really what you want to do is just finish your move. You know, you push, your opponent counterattacks. The best thing you can do usually is just attack into the counterattack, finish your action. It happens much more in foil and saber because you have right of way, but even without right of way, it's the same kind of deal. You have the initiative like that. You have the initiative, you should just go ahead and take it. Very cagey bout. Taking turns pushing it and releasing pressure. Not pretty similar stylistically. Active tips, and we see a double there, is what usually happens when you have two people pushing at the same level for long enough. Active tips, certainly more active than other Hungarians in Wimmer's case. Maybe a little bit less active than Koreans in Xia's case. They're patiently waiting their moment for both of them, and then got bored of waiting. You know, it's a lot of the pressure you release and you build pressure, but the pressure builds up in your head as you are constantly at this high level of alertness as the bout goes, as an individual touch goes on. Yeah, with the soft invite to run out the period, Wimmer is accepting it. You can see her; she's just not pushing at all, and they'll do that. I wish we'd seen the first period. It would give me a better flow of the bout as we begin the third. It's another one where Wimmer gets pretty into distance and then just doesn't do anything with it. And CS stopped reacting to it. A little bit smaller reaction there. At some point, someone's going to have to just break that pattern and either Sia will attack into that prep or Wimmer will finish it. But in the meantime, that's like the big core action of the bout. Sometimes you see a bout. That was weird. I'm not sure what Wimmer saw that made her attack there. Or rather, I know what Wimmer saw that made her attack there. It was the same thing we've been talking about, but she didn't finish her attack. She sort of thought Sia was going to go backwards with the parry, and so she started disengaging, but kind of a big disengage anyway. And Sia didn't react at all, so an easy touch for her. Good low energy fencing here from Sia, taking 3 parries and beats before getting the touch when we're just off on the flesh for no reason. I think she must be feeling the pressure. Oh, and we are losing quality. Let's try this again. Okay, we're gonna go back and watch that one again. Low push from Wimmer. There it is. So that's a smaller step forward. Sia does not react to it. But really Wimmer gets the same advantages as the bigger preps, just with more time to react afterwards. So really good touch from her that she could have done a period ago, and this would be a very different bout. Same idea, but this time Sia goes backwards, so nothing happens. Crazy double. I don't know how Sia got her point on target. I swear every time I stream, I start yawning. I'm awake. I napped and slept like all of today. There's that same fleshy backy army kind of a thing that Wimmer's gotten hit on like 4 times. There's the lazy counter from Sia that Wimmer finally manages to take advantage of, which he definitely missed and then remised. As Sia switches weapons, mostly just a psychological thing, I think. Test the weapon, test the circuitry. It's a step in that I keep seeing that Wimmer is just not building off of, even though she can. Sia is only reacting about half the time, and then when it's like Wimmer is just always picking the wrong time, and then on top of that, not letting the it breathe properly. She's like, that was better because she finished one action before starting the next, but still not as explosive as you'd want to finish to be. Same with that one. Same with that one. I don't know if there's something about the way CS controlling the distance that makes Wimmer feel really nervous. That's totally doable. Easy one again for Sia. Easy one again, just doubling out. Not even bothering with the full extension. She's really just interested in finishing the bout and not wasting any energy. No touch. Ref called halt too early. She's surprising at this level. Yeah, she's just waiting out the bout now. Wimmer's really good. Let me see. Darina the Wimmer is 19. That makes sense. It's University Games. Top 100, so she's no slouch. All right, 32 versus Inayama Yuri. And here we get the full bout. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So if you remember in the last bout, I was talking about how neither one had a slightly active tip and not a very active tip. Inayama here has a pretty active tip. Like there are wilder fencers who the tip just goes everywhere, but this is up there. And yeah, part of the idea is it just a flashing thing in your opponent's face to distract them. It makes the line go high low, and that's confusing. Sia is doing a really good job of ignoring it as we go into non-combativity. We're probably going to see a lot of that just because that's the standard nowadays as you go to non-combativity. A lot of pokey from Inayama. Sia is just waiting her turn. Extremely patient fencer. Not a lot of bouncing, not a lot of activity. Just slow pressure forward and then easy release. Because Inayama is not a space-taking fencer you can see. She's an in and out kind of a fencer. And so really easy for Sia to give up the ground here because she knows she's going to be able to get it back. And with how strong Sia's fundamentals are, she knows the opportunity is going to come from someone like Inayama, just because she knows she's better than her. Yuri Inayama, yeah, is a 378th in the world. And of course, Sia is rated higher than her starting the tournament. So if it goes to another non-combativity period, which it won't, Inayama will I'm sure attack before then. Then Sia will win. And I have no idea what's happening. That should have been a red for both. There we go. We get a little bit more. Nope, never mind. I was going to say we get a little bit more aggression from Inayama. We do. Ooh, that was a good one. Oops, ref's annoyed. Yeah, I don't know why it's only 1-1. Why it's only 1-0 and not 2-1. One really good attack from Inayama. That was the thing kind of deep flowing into the remise, but this time she planned it. And since Sia has just always been going backwards, it was a good time from Inayama. Probably won't work again, but any touch you can get on Sia is good, and then you can start building off of that. Man, it's really bugging me that they didn't assign the second P card. Maybe that they had the touch. Um, I don't know. Probably won't matter. Now CC a little bit less willing to give ground. Ooh, another really good one from Inayama. Timing a counterattack to perfection there. Picked up on it as quick as I did watching that. That says going aggressive. And so she fed her an opening and hit the counter on the step back. Really nice. I hope she goes to more international tournaments because she's fencing really well. I would have expected Sia to get a lot more, to be up by like 3 or 4 at this point in the bout. But she's there we go. Okay. Having a lot of trouble. Pushed enough to get a panic counter out of Inayama. That was just out of distance and not from a good position. It was a deep enough attack from Sia to start the sequence that Inayama had to really go back to avoid it, and then not good, and then wasn't set up well for the lunge. Just kind of did it out of desperation because she was pinned on the back line, and so an easy touch for Sia, but really set up well. Sia pushing. Got to worry about the counterattacks, and she's already shown it. A parry so strong you get the touch. Must have been a speck of dirt or something. Wow, let's watch that one again. Sia's just... Inayama's looking to go forward. Sia with the beat disengaged so smooth. Beat through. Inayama looking to go forward, not ready to go backwards. Excellent equalizer from Sia. So much of what makes a good touch is what your opponent wants to do and how you can take advantage of that. Sia back to where she was before, more willing to go backwards now that she's equalized. Which is unfortunate because going forward worked really well. I guess she went 2-1 going forwards, but she went 0-1 going backwards, so. Of course, I'm always a fan of active fencing over passive fencing. I wonder if we're just going to run out the period at 2-2. That would be insane. CS seems willing for it. I guess there just wasn't a P card at the first period. Now you'll look it up later, see what happened. So I want to see Sia go forward. She's letting Inayama have too much confidence and prep out too safely. Although maybe that was just to run out the period. Okay, we want to see Sia attack and push. And we want to see Inayama not panic. And look for opportunistic counterattacks as she goes backwards. If she makes Sia work for every, like Sia's not into the big attacking, as long as Inuyama is willing to go backwards. And so what we want to do is see Inuyama go backwards and yield space to Sia, but really make her work for it. Instead, we're seeing Inuyama go forward, get the double. Sia willing to give the space, which she's a much better fencer than me, but I don't really like that. Inuyama's launching these long attacks, and Sia has not been able to punish them. And as she gets pinned on the back line, it's going to be harder for her. There's that same counterattack we talked about. Didn't work, but the idea was there, and that's what really matters. Oh my gosh. Lucky touch from Sia. Inuyama was there. That was an excellent parry from Sia. Inuyama seems a little bit more nervous to go forward now, which he absolutely should not be. That was a really well done sequence that she just got a little bit unlucky at the end. She should definitely keep pushing. Sia is still not willing to punish. Be a little bit more patient than that, maybe. But the idea is there. No push. Inuyama stopped pushing. And so Sia just hit her straight. Which is unfortunate because I really wish Inuyama had pushed a little bit harder. Or stopped pushing earlier when they were tied. We're not seeing the same level of prep that we did last time, that we did in the last few touches. She's got a lot of time. She only needs 2 touches and she's got a minute 10. She's not doing those same deeper preps that she was doing before, even though she still hasn't really been able to punish them. I expect we're going to see that here, though, because I'm not. I want to see those long attacks she was doing. It would be so much better. It'd be prettier fencing. It would be a safe, aggressive option. Sometimes you think something doesn't work and you think you got to change everything, and then things stop working even less, and you're totally out of it. And so, another bout where the only thing Sid really did is keep her composure better than Inuyama, which is an underappreciated and super important fencing skill. You gotta be ready. Really good 8. If you're not mentally stable, your fencing's not going to be stable. Yeah. Sia just waiting for her. Ooh, good one from Inuyama there. Um, Sia kept counterattacking on the as Inuyama was running forward, and so Inuyama preemptively counter posted into the counterattack. So she put her tip into Sia's extending arm, which is a great little trick, especially if you're a French grip. That was her 14th point, and that was her 10th point, and now it's the 15th in bout. So yeah, great composure from Sia. Chevaux Reuterer, which is a very French-German name. You see a much more classic French grip style here. I don't really have anything going on this beyond just the vibes, but Hungarians have this similar straight arm with a slightly less active tip and a much more grounded stance. And here Chevaux is a much wider stance, a much flowier fencing style, and a slightly more active tip, but not really looking for the blade ever. Yet another passivity. Expect we'll see this in every bout. Sia's in this for the long haul, and so she's really not looking to waste any energy by being aggressive. Simple double there. We're into the 16 now, and I would have expected Sia to be more active and aggressive, having to step up her game. But I guess when you're used to making the finals of World Cups, the finals of uh the 64s and 32s and 16s of the university games are a little bit lower level. And on top of that, and so she just hasn't had to step up her game and really push and be aggressive. She knows she can get her touches, so she doesn't need to spend the energy. She's got a smartwatch on, which is terrifying. You only need to, I don't know, it feels like it would be really easy to break one of those. I don't own one. Maybe they're made really durably. Chevaux a little bit late with the hand. Uh, Either Sia or her coach will probably pick up on that and start countering into that. Easy 8-8 there. I think that was 8-8. Sia's got a weird form of parry. The way I was taught to parry and the way I teach to parry is you take control of the blade, you hold control of the blade, and you step back to give yourself leverage on the blade. And then you continue that control of the blade through the riposte. And if they slip off in the middle of the riposte or whatever, that's fine. But you just have control through the action. Sia is doing almost a beat style parry where they're coming in. She hits the blade just long enough to knock it out of position and then immediately into the riposte. And then they just miss because she's not stepping back. she's staying in place. And so the blade comes in and she goes boom, and the blade just goes right past her, which is terrifying. But it is really quick. Of course, if your opponent's not committed to their attack, and you try to do that, then you knock their blade off target. It comes right back. They hit you. But honestly, if you try to take a parry and your opponent's not committed to the attack, you kind of deserve to get hit anyway. Still want to see Sia go straight into Chauveau step in. Ooh, that was really good. So that was the third evolution of it now. Sia took two, took eight, took two. Chauveau disengaged up. Sia took six and finished. So the first one was Sia took eight into Chauveau's full attack. Chauveau missed, post for Sia. Sia took eight, and step two, Sia took eight. Chauveau paused, disengaged, and went in. There we go. There's that step forward into it that I wanted. And step three was the 2-6 go. See if she does it again. Big preps from Chauveau. Big preps. Very active on the blade, but I think that's just annoys Chauveau. No, and there's just good distance control where Sia's pulling, and she gets back to the end line. She doesn't want to be there, so she pushes, and Chauveau just gives up all of the distance. And then Sia pulls again and finds the timing and goes forward and hits straight attack. High level fencing where it's not about the actions you do, but it's about the distance control. That was phenomenal. That was just the easiest wrist touch I've ever seen. Holy cow. What's notably missing as we talk about this high level of the game of Sia controlling the distance, Chauveau is not getting in clean. Chauveau is not looking for blade contact. She doesn't want blade contact. And she's never had a sequence of her going forward like this where she's managed to avoid the blade contact because she is controlling the distance so well. And so that's just like, okay, she got the touch, but that's not how she wanted the touch. She doesn't want that kind of a twisty shot or the blade contact. She wants to be able to go straight. And Sia is just absolutely shutting that down. And this is just really high level fencing to be able to do that. I'm not sure Chauveau is fully picking up on how Sia is doing this. Yeah. So Chauveau started looking and going forward and forward and forward, and then the same thing Sia did to Ineyama. Oop. One day I'll remember to set my titles properly. Same thing Sia did to Ineyama. Chauveau not following the distance, and so Sia straight attack. So Chauveau needs to find a way to avoid the blade contact and still threaten Sia. That's her big challenge. And Sia is kind of completely in control of this. So Chavot kind of an old fashioned, I want to say, on guard, where normally you'd want to. Oh, now there she goes. She's pulling it back. The farther back you have your arm, the harder it is for your opponent to get to it, and so the closer they have to be to get to it. Especially right now, where someone like Sia is trying to get a lot of blade contact. So the closer they have to be, so the easier it is in theory for you to build an attack because you're closer, so you can hit sooner. There are other theories that are involve keeping them far away, so all their attacks fall short. And the closer you are to them, the closer they are to you. So if you can hit them from far away, then that's better. One of the big Harmerberg principles is the fencer willing to fence closer wins the bout, and that was true 70 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever it was. Ooh, that was almost really good. But now we are just gotten as close as you can reasonably get. And so now there are real costs to getting closer in terms of being in danger and having to have a higher level of technical ability that just didn't really exist in Hammerberg's time. It's sort of so it's not that he's wrong. It's just the idea has infused modern epee to the point where you've already fully it's already there. You're already doing it if you're fencing. So you try to do it more, it's a little bit wrong. Easy from Sia, just flick to the wrist, goes short. Chavot tries to counter but isn't really into it, and so Sia just pops two more flicks in and gets the touch. And it was 6-3, and it was like Sia's in control, and now it's 10-5, and you can see what I mean. 5-3, whatever it was. It would be the cool touch now is for Sia to hit under Chavot's arm when she's got like Chavot's all the way up like this now. Sia goes underneath it. That would be cool. It's gonna definitely draw out a counterattack. So if she does it, you can go like the duck underneath and the 6 in the back, like the 6 in the or the 4 and the whatever. She's not gonna do it because this whole theme has been really just Sia fencing, low energy fencing. But it'd be cool if she did. Here we see just Chavot still not managing to avoid the blade contact, still not managing to really build anything. Kind of just giving away a double there. The other, oh, okay, well, I was about to say we're not seeing much changing fencing from Sia, from Chavot. We're not seeing much changing fencing from Sia because it's working really well. And if you have a win the bout button, you just keep hitting it till you win the bout. But Chavot is not changing up her fencing much, except now when she's starting to get desperate and push. But it's the same slow advances into Sia that just aren't working for her. She's not doing anything else. You got to have a backup plan. And Chavot does not have one. Okay. That was really easy bout. No sweat. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. This is Larkina from AN. I like that Sia has always been on the right side. I did it. University games are weird because you do not actually have to be in university to fence in them. You just have to be 25 and under. Okay, well, we have a very stiff Larkina. with an extremely rigid arm. Like her arm is just tensed up and moving. And a very fluid Sia. I think Sia is seeing a trap here, and that's why she's not pushing. And I really don't think there is one. Like somebody like Larkina is not fencing like you'd expect. This is 8, right? Yeah, this is 8. So I'm not impressed. That was a really well timed flash. Okay, maybe I'm a little impressed. So what's going on here? I think that was their first spot without non-combativity in the first minute, which is, a good flush from Larkina, well timed. I still think Sia is just confused by Larkina. Um, okay, so this is a pretty simple game plan. Anytime Larkina sees an opening, she's just YOLO going for it. Um, which is not actually a criticism. When you are the worst fencer, getting into extended engagements is bad because the longer you're fencing, the more opportunity there is for your opponent's higher quality of fencing to show itself. So if Lakina just cuts off every engagement by attacking into it, then she simplifies the game to where it works for her better. And Sia just is confused by it, I think. There's a famous, to me at least, bout between Jason Pryor and Gautier Grumier, the great French épée fencer, where this is basically what Pryor does. Every time Grumier tries to set something up, Pryor flushes into him. And it's a lot of doubles, and it's not a lot of fencing, but it did work out for Pryor. He won the bout. So that's a valuable lesson in and of itself. I do expect Sia to pick this up. Those are 3 good touches from Larkina, and it shows how she got here. Because that, like this, just the skill of finding the timing for that kind of a counterattack is not easy. But Sia's a really well-grounded fencer, and I expect her to figure it out. And we go to the first period. Okay. Um, this is a weird bout. A weird bout. If I were Sia, I would be trying to trigger Larkina's attacks and parry her post. Because straight attacking into them isn't working. I don't know if that's what she's going to do. My gut is telling me that I would probably lose this bout, even though even as Sia in this hypothetical, I would be the better fencer. So I'm curious what she does with it because it's going to be a valuable lesson. Oh, um, really early flesh from Larkina. Surprised me, surprised Sia. Unlucky for her to go off the piece. But Sia did get the parry in. And then the remise went through. It's 5-1. Holy cow. So yeah, this is Larkina's entire game is this disruptive attack and prep game that Sia is just having a lot of trouble dealing with. It does violate a couple of my fundamental principles of Epee, which is that Larkina isn't the active fencer, which means that if Sia can figure it out, it's going to go her way really fast. But on the other hand, if it doesn't, it's, up 6-1 against Kaylin Sia is bragging rights anywhere. I mean, it's not because this is a fairly obscure sport and there's no bragging to be had. But other than that, there's bragging. I like that long attack Sia did. I think she should do more of that, like that. Okay, I have a plan. Sia should be um, attacking until Larkina step backwards. Because when your opponent is stepping backwards, they can't really attack forwards. And so that's the best opportunity for Sia to get a safe attack that avoids the prep. Sia's blade work is phenomenal. I don't think I've noticed, like, I've been watching her for a couple of years. Uh, but I don't think I've noticed how good her blade work is at catching parries. Yeah, so that was it, I think, was yeah, the beat, pause, Larkina steps backwards, so tiny step backwards, and that's when Sia goes. And that gives her the opportunity to attack safely. So now we have a more aggressive Larkina, knows she's gotten figured out. One of the other advantages of a simple game like Larkina has is that you know other permutations. Like, Sia is not the first person to figure out, ooh, really good. I don't know how she knew that was coming, but a phenomenal attack, counterattack from Sia. It's the beat into the straight boom so fast to the arm. Um, yeah, I don't, so one of the advantages of a simple game like Larkina is you know all of the permutations. Sia is not the first person, or probably the 100th person, to know, aha, I will attack Larkina into her step backwards. And so Larkina has moved to the next phase of her game, which is push forward. I don't know what's going on. Medical thing? Trying to judge by the shadows on the wall like on fucking Plato's Cave or something. Ooh, that was too easy though. So now we see the greater quality of Sia come out. When Larkina is pushing forwards, says much more comfortable in that situation. And Larkina is incapable of applying the kind of pressure she needs to get touches. And so Sia can just deal with it like that. Hold the four, boom, quicker post. And now we're back to Larkina pulling, Sia pushing, and expecting the same kind of attack into the step back. Not usually recommended. Um, if your opponent is stepping backwards, they're giving them more time to see what is happening, more time to respond. Um, you have to really be in this sort of an exact situation where you have a specific uh, problem you're trying to solve with this. Usually better to attack into your opponent and step forward. Um, I wonder if the machine resets passivity every touch, no matter if it gets annulled or not, and that's what's happening. That's what happened in that other bout. That might be it. All right, we went from 5-1 to 7-6, so really nice comeback from Sia. That one counterattack is probably burned into my head forever. That was so cool. That's another way to do it. I don't have the blade control skills that Sia does, but if you just keep slamming your opponent's blade, they can't counterattack because their tips off in Narnia. You know, this is not me. You know, the tip's like over there, and then you just flush into it. So Xie showing that she's not just a well-composed fencer; she's a brilliantly adaptable fencer. So really good for her. And yeah, like I said, passive fencing from Larkina trying to do attacks in prep. Active fencing from CS. CS figures it out. Equalizes from 5-1 down. And now she's in her much more comfortable zone of just yielding space every time Larkina pushes. I'm expecting a flush from Larkina soon, just because she's running out of patience. I think somebody keeps popping in and out of chat because I see 42 views at 54 seconds and nobody watching. But I'm having fun, so we're gonna keep doing it. Non-combativity to start the third. You don't see that a whole lot. Of course, watching an AIM fencer, you have to mention that the FIA has allowed the AIN teams to participate, which is a little bit beyond the pale. You should write your federation to tell them to send a letter of disapproval. A couple of hundred fencers, a few hundred fencers signed Cyrus of Chaos, Andrew Official's letter, and I think he was doing it with Olga Carlin. Really good touch there from Larkina, just beating Sia to the point. Sia has reset. That's the problem. Sia has reset to normal fencing and not punishing Larkina's specific foibles. Anyway, yeah, AIN teams probably shouldn't be allowed to participate or shouldn't be allowed to participate. Should complain about it, raise a stink. Oh, really good hit to the arm. CS says it didn't happen. We have had strip issues all day. I've already forgotten. Okay, so they gave the touch. Larkina sweating. It's just very outside of Sia's normal fencing. Now we're seeing a more advanced game from Larkina where she's making Sia work for the distance and therefore not being able to set up what she wants like she did on the 5-1 to 7-7 comeback. Where Larkina was much more passively giving distance. There's yeah, just taking 8, holding 8, running in, hitting. Really good touch. Larkina a little bit caught napping. So really good awareness from Sia, keeping her composure. Hits the floor. She's done that a bunch. She's kind of a little bit wild with the tip. Oh, takes the 8. Hold the 8 this time. And Larkina is flushing in and just runs her leg right onto Sia's tip. We got 19 seconds left, and we got a tie. Nope, never mind. We have 17 seconds left, and Sia up by 1. Decided to stop screwing around and just impose her will on the bout. Twelve seconds left, and we have a tie game. So this is what happened. Like Sia had a one in aggressively and brought it back, and then reset, and then Larkina took the lead again, and then Sia went in aggressively and took the lead, and then went passive to try to run it out, and then Larkina equalized. So Sia much more comfortable waiting around, but it's not what she needs to do for this bout. She needs to go and push and hit. I think I was gonna say not having priority will help her, but I think she actually does have priority. That's crazy that the ship is still not grounding. But nice to see the sportsmanship from Sia, um not arguing about that call, just pushing in. Come on, more blade contact. You gotta be super disruptive on the blade here against Larkina. And I think like that's been one of the other big differences is just a lot of beating like that. Kind of a mistimed flush from Larkina. A little bit surprising for Sia, but um not enough to miss. Another double. So this is good, right? This is what we said. Sia is pushing. There it is. Okay, so Sia did not have priority. That must be the Hong Kong flag that I thought said bird. Okay, so flashing thing here is priority. And there we go. Excellent bout from Sia. Actually, a really good one to watch. In terms of adjustment from Sia into a really weird bout. Doing it again. All right, Sia on the left, Conrad on the right. Already we're seeing a bit of a difference where Sia starting to push. Conrad, very much a level above anybody see has spent so far tonight. Today, Friday, Thursday, I think. So very much. And you can see where she's now much more not aggressive but active. See, we're already into Conrad's half of the strip. She's starting to actively push and prep. You get the P card. And you can see other things, we talked about, I've already forgot her name, the AAN woman. Her very stiff arm. You can see Conrad's is much more active. And also, not only is it active, it's fluid. It flows in and out and back and down. And she's not just on guard, she's in a variety of on guards and putting her blade and her tip where she needs it in order to help her do what she needs, which is really the way to go. It's a tool you use, and it should be, you shouldn't have your hand in one place. It should be constantly changing, constantly changing. The other semifinal also had a Ukrainian Maximenko. And that was a great bout too, and you should go watch it. She's a phenomenal fencer. Oh my God, I forgot who she fenced though. I want to say a Hungarian. Okay, a minute left. Non-combativity. A lot of pushing, a lot of pushing. Ooh, long attack from Conrad. Sia just barely gets far enough back. Doesn't have anywhere else to go, but Conrad, a little bit caught in prep there as she tries to duck under. Okay, well, I was looking for the participants, but they just absolutely are not here. I'm looking on the FIE website, so that was a fail. We go to end of the first period. Very much the high level, feel each other out, push the distance, see how they react. Kind of a first period. Whereas with the other bouts, especially against Chauveau, I think it was. You could already see the flow with the bout develop in the first period. Let this be a lesson too. If you're getting tired in the first period, you have to do a lot more gym work. Here we go, here we go. Conrad has shown a willingness to launch into deep attacks, and Sia trying to bait that out with some hand motions. And Conrad says, "Thank you very much. I will take that touch." Just little threats, little pushes, just to see how your opponent reacts to build them a pattern that they can rely on before you break it and create a moment of surprise by breaking it. Like that, where she's doing push, 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 and it goes really hard, and that tempo break is good. Like to see Cia be a little bit more active with the distance forward, like that. That almost worked really, really well. Um, I think Conrad being a little bit too blasé about coming in with her arm down. A Red Hood. This is Epee. This is University Games Epee Semis, women's Epee Semis. Uh, are you Cat Locator? It image looks familiar. Oh, but you would know. Okay, never mind. All right, we're tied up with 52 seconds left. Cia needs just a little bit more push forward. I think she's so good at going forward, and she's so comfortable going backwards. I wish she would be a little bit more aggressive. Excellent counterattack there. Conrad really going again in the low line, not quite working out for her though. Now we see Conrad being a little bit more careful. Doing a lot of distance change, not with their feet, but by moving her hand from absence, where it's pointed down like that, into forward threat location pointing at Cia's face. And it's the lowest commitment distance change you can have, but it really makes a big difference to your opponent's sense of the distance if they're not really good at judging it. Obviously, the correct thing to do is look at the shoulder. You judge the distance based on that, or maybe even the upper body generally. Conrad pushing with an extended arm aimed high, but the way she's coming back, I expect her to be expecting a counterattack of some kind, which is certainly something Kaylin does, just like that. I think Kaylin wasn't responding to it. She was waiting for it, and then as soon as Conrad went, Kaylin just went right into it. The way my coach has it, a slow extension is an invitation, a fast extension is a threat. Ooh. So there was another example of Cia's release style of parry where she kind of just bounces the blade and goes. And then because she lost control of the blade and she missed her first counter, first riposte, uh, Cia Conrad was free to remise around. Whereas if she'd have taken control with a step back, she would have maybe had a little bit more control. Conrad pushing her all the way down to the end of the line and now releasing some of the pressure. Excellent disengage from Sia. Conrad looking for the 6 going forwards. Sia disengaging underneath and hitting. Really good first start of the bout, but we're starting to see Sia's qualities shine again. She just has a little bit better control of the distance. Conrad doing the same preps a little bit too often. She's established the pattern, but she took too long to break it, so Sia attacked into it. But now she's breaking it a little bit sooner with that long attack we saw just a few seconds ago. Too many steps forward basically is what happened there. She went blah 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 blah, and Sia went boom boom. Yeah, medical timeout, I believe. Looking for the spread. Yeah. Conrad simplifying, taking the high line, pulling out a double, which is really not bad. You know, I guess we only have 40 seconds to go, so it's not great because she's got time. But as far as score is concerned, it doesn't really matter at this point. Keeping a farther arm out, she's not looking for the counterattack anymore. She's looking to just finish straight to anything Sia does. Like that. Good touch there. Simple building. And I'd expect to see at least another one of those. Fortunately, that took 20 seconds, and she needs 2 more. She's annoyed the ref. Doesn't really matter because it's Zepe, but you never want to do that, just on general principles of being like a good person. A little bit too close from Conrad. Yeah. Hyper aware of the distance as always. Goes around. And now we have 10 seconds left. And she's got to get 3. Ref is kind of being a doofus. Good touch there. He doesn't want Conrad going early. He's slowing everything down. And then, so she's actually got to sit and wait. And bow. (10-8), good bout. And here we see Maximenko. Let me get Maximenko's full name in here. There we go. Okay. Finals. Huzzah. Maximenko, equally active tip as Conrad, even more of a fluid arm. Angard even farther back and more in absence. So when it comes out into a thread, if the change is even bigger. Sia Xia doing exactly the same thing she's done all about, just hanging out, setting the distance, waiting for her moment. Ooh, excellent counterattack from Maximenko. Just barely getting out of the range of Xia. Excellent control of the distance, and then popping her on the shoulder. Little body feint from Maximenko. Really active with the distance. I don't think we've ever seen anybody do quite like her, where she's back, 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 and then forward, forward with these same small steps. And it's worked. That was a really good touch too. That was phenomenal. Garcia going hopping backwards and then snuck out and hit the leg. If you are going to attack your opponent going backwards, it's not in kind of a weird situation. The leg and the toe is the last thing to move, so that's where you want to aim. See, I gotta really take control of the distance again. It's Maximenko. Oh my God, that was phenomenal. Just pure speed and recognition from Xia that there was a little tiny opening there, and this an incredibly fast lunge. But anyway, a lot of the change in distance now is controlled by Maximenko, and she's getting past the really comfortable edge of distance that Xia wants, and so that means that Maximenko is in charge of the distance. Right now, she's the more active fencer, and so that's the advantage to her. But here we see Xia stepping up, getting her one riposte in, and it misses, and the ref calls halt. Oh wow! I don't I don't know what that was. I don't know how you see that. I don't know how you make that work. But that was a full extension beat flush out of absolutely nowhere to tie it up. Just all of the energy that Sis saved through the first 4 rounds, 3 4 rounds, out now in those last two brilliant touches. And a little bit, we're going, mostly we're going to the end of the period, but a little bit scared from Maximenko now that Xia has shown she's capable of punishing those step-ins and that pressure. So a really good way to get control of the distance again, because damn. All right, second period. No non-combativity, no cards. Just some really great fencing. Sneaky little opportunistic shot from Maximenko doesn't really go. She's doing that same low, high with the tip. And Kaylin, being naturally a more cautious sword, is really respecting it. But Maximenko's still coming in with her arm back. And I think that's what Kaylin's been attacking into these last few touches. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Kaylin has an active tip. Like she's not Her arms are loose, her arm is relaxed. She's just not moving it as much as Maximenko is or as Conrad did. And a double there. Kaylin's like, just go forward through it. And she was right. If she'd have gone forward, she would have gotten it. But, it's easy to do a good lunge when you're just standing there. It's hard to do it when someone like Anna Maximenko is attacking you. Yeah, seeding ground. Maximenko attacking into the retreating Sia, missing. Going low, so again to the foot where it's viable. And she's getting reactions from Sia on these attacks, which is good for her to build from, but less good when Sia manages to flush right into it. So I take back what I said about Maximenko being in control of the distance. Sia's the range, even with those flushes, is so incredibly long that she's actually like she's letting Maximenko into this space because she knows she can hit straight from there when the opportunity arises, and she can get out safely. Like that's the fourth or fifth time that she's dodged this long attack from Maximenko, and at the same distance, she's manages to hit 2 or 3 flushes. Sia got a little bit jammed there, so Maximenko manages to equalize. No, she's no slouch. She's not just going to keep attacking out of distance over and over. She's going to figure something out. Double there. A little bit of a big action from Sia. I think the idea was good, but the blade was a little bit wild. Make a pushing, but not much. Sia kind of just holding her ground, but not really threatening. As we go into the end of the second at 5-5, but like a really active 5-5. Like it's 5-5, but it's been a lot of really good dodging and tight actions and pushing and pulling, even all up and down the strip. Been a really good bout. And compared to what happened in the 64, you can see Sia has definitely upped her game. Here she is pushing again. We didn't see any of those really long flushes. She's just waiting for like a good opportunity and not just any kind of a risky opportunity. But she's got to take the risky stuff against Maximenko. So what's happening here is Maximenko is chained to counter. Mehmet-san, there is no Turkish fencer here. And so Sia is launching these big attacks, knowing the counterattack is coming, and doing that same kind of beatish parry that we've been talking about. To get the touch. Hello, how are you doing tonight? Here we go. Now Maximenko starting to push again. See little extensions, just a little bit threatening. I'm gonna make 30 a word, but it's gonna happen. I'm doing really well. This is a great fencing, and I'm really enjoying it. Really active. Conrad, there it is. Excellent equalizing touch. in and out and in and out and in and out, and um, shows one way, fast disengage, gets around it. Really well done. Minute and a half left. Small distance push from Sia, big distance push from Maximenko. You can see the first period was them feeling each other out. Now we are in the third period, and the game plans are set. And there's little tweaks, but this is how it's going. And we get that same long attack from Sia. Maximenko just a little sidestep, but misses the counter. Maximenko showing the foot. Sia going 8. I think the 8 is a feint. Like before, I called it an opportunity for Maximenko. I think that the 8 is a feint, where Sia is showing 8, is showing 8, and showing 8. But when she goes to touch, she's not using the 8. Speaking of 8, it is now 8-8. Maximenko really far back with her hand, really inviting Sia in to come in close. And then every once in a while pops out. But Sia's not scared of that, really. She sees that as an opportunity to beat flesh or beat lunge. Pattern break there from Maximenko, where she's in and out in a pattern, then in and then waits. And we get 8-8, end of the third. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Priority to Sia. Hair emergency, I guess. Light bulb, if you're watching this, you should go back to pigtails. Ooh, we got really big distance from Sia. Step back, forward, forward. Big distance changes. She's finally matching Maximenko's energy on distance. Really close there. I feel like these two have met in a finals or semis in like World Cup. This is crazy. Ooh, so that's the first time Maximenko's really dealt with that long flesh from Sia. And Sia's lucky she got the double out of that. But that was a so that if you're gonna deal with it, now's the time to deal with it. But it would have been great if she'd managed to get the touch out of it. Sia calming down, pulling in Maximenko, and flushing into the pole for a really excellent 9-8 victory. Yeah, so congrats to Kaylin Sia. That was a phenomenal bout. We are going to take a short break. I believe fencing. Okay, next we're going to go to men's saber, which is in the same, which was also Thursday. And I'm going to figure out who won, and then we'll do it. But take a bio break and see what happens after that. Come back in 5 minutes. Okay, I just looked it up and I've already forgotten. Oh, Sangwon Park. Okay. Men's Sabres 16. Shungho Park. That's Sangwon Park. 8-8. For podium. Jungho Park. We're looking for Sangwon Park in the 32. We're looking for I'm not sure which park this is. Habin Park, on Park. There we go. 16. The 8. Four. 2. See what we got. It's a 16. It's the 8. It's the 4. It's podium. That about twice. It's the 8. That about twice. 8. We have that about 3 times. 32. It's Habin. It's also Habin. That's also the 32. Woman's Saber. Same one. Okay, we don't have the 64. Must not have been streamed. So we can start from the 32. This is Park Sangwon, Korea. I know less about Saber than I do about Epee, but I still know a fair amount about Saber. A lot less than that about Foil. Single light straight attack from Sangwon. You're going to be a lot more narrating what's happening and a lot less deep dives into technology, into the strategies of the fencers. Okay, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. Basically, everything in the box in Modern Saber is a remise. Really good takeover there from Szczepanik. Good finish there. Let's make sure we're actually on 17 quality. Okay. Attack no, attack no. Or attack parried. Riposte is no, a little bit too eager. Szczepanik with the remise. Just a little bit more committed off the line, I think, from Park and Szczepanik, but he's asking for a video, which is fine. And ref explains it because if you're going to be polite, the ref will be polite to you. Good finish there. That's definitely attack left. Szczepanik goes, Park goes, but Park searches. Just that little twist of the wrist looking for a parry. And he doesn't find it, but if you're parrying, you're not attacking. So he gives up right away. Hop, hop, hop. Ooh, excellent counter there from Szczepanik. Not that that's a short lunge, but a surprisingly short lunge from Park. Attack there from Park. Szczepanik trying to go to long attack with a sort of a advance. Park commits first with the lunge, and so it's his attack. That's parry post. Park is asking for a second parry, which is possible. Personally, I have no idea. No. Okay, single parry. Ooh, flush in from Szczepanik. Kind of a dangerous action because he came this close to getting to bell punching Park. And it's an increasing issue. And I wish they would move the strips back to take care of it. Szczepanik takes a step back and then goes forward. Park goes forward. Park's touch. Attack from Park goes forward. Szczepanik just a little bit later on the commitment. If you're having trouble seeing these calls, it took me a very long time to understand the modern box game in terms of how the ref is calling things. It is fairly consistent. It is fairly obvious. You do have to know what you're looking for. And what you're looking for is not a single action. It's not like, aha, he was first, he did this, and therefore it's his attack. It's a comparison of the two fencers. It's how you make a right of way call in terms of who is more committed to the attack first, especially in the box. Please do also fix your titles. I guess I could fix these in post. I say on a live stream. Oh, he got that through. I really thought Park got that parry. Ooh, really fast off line from Park. Szczepanik totally committed to a long attack. Good touch. Saber's so heavily psychological. It's all about what you're predicting your opponent's going to do, and then what you react, and how long you can delay the reaction for. No, that's attack no. Oh, that was attack no. Oh, okay. I think I know what happened here. Attack no. But the skyhook counterattack is also no. So the remise arrives. Yeah. Good tight call. Good parry there. Sabers have developed this ability to look like they're going forward so hard and then just actually just stay in place. But tries to do the same thing twice. Park is wise to it and equalizes. We got 3 minutes left in the second period. It's 10-10. See a nice long. I can't even keep a straight face. Short attack from Park, mostly just to keep Shapanik away while he builds his defense. Classic Saber touch there. Park pretty consistently in control of the blade contact there. Which is what it takes when you're doing a uh, when they're both whacking at the blade. It's whoever is more initiating the blade contact. Oh, he snuck it through. Ooh, that was a good touch. Just a little bit faster than Shapanik recognized. Okay, then Shapanik building a long attack. Ooh, finishes strong. One of the micro games in Saber is when you deal with your opponent's attack, do you immediately counterattack or do you build your own attack? Because your opponent's never going to be more off balance than they are when they've just missed their attack. So it's a great opportunity to hit them. By the same token, you're never more off balance than when you've just dodged their attack. And the other half of the coin, that's attack left, is if you wait too long to start your attack, especially nowadays compared to 10 years ago, they're really willing to give their me, so they can just start a new attack and get touches. Oh, clash of blades. Goes bung, 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 and Park just the first to react and get their remise in. Single light always gets the touch. The hop. He got them with the hop. That was great. That's fine. Next up, 16. These are going to go quick because I don't have a lot to say, and also it's Saber, so they just go really quick. Ha! Shin title. Yes. extended arm defensively from Maruel works really well for him in terms of getting the attack out of distance from Park, and then a really classic parry of the kind you don't see much anymore. Just where instead of trying to pick up the blade like he did there, he just held it out, blocked the line, and let Park clash his blade into it. Park started early and then also lost the touch, so it really worked out well for him. You'd rather have a yellow than a touch against you. Yeah, so Park attacked. Maruel realized he was behind in time to try to parry, but not in time to actually do anything about it. So that's how Park managed to get one light there for his first touch, just straight on his second. Okay, so just Park finishes there. There's a good chance I was thinking the ref might call a attack no there from Park, but he did just enough to keep going forward slowly that he kept the attack. Another what Park's doing here is he's for a microsecond he's slow off the line, and then he's accelerating super fast. And so that's convincing Maruel that Park is either waiting or going for a long attack. So Maruel is trying to take over that attack, but by the time he does that, Park's accelerating into his final action. Maruel wants that one. I guess he thinks he found the blade. Ref says. Yeah, okay. So he did find the blade. Either that or I think maybe more Park ended his attack and Maruel took it over. I want to watch that one again too. Missed there. 1, 2. Okay, so Maruel did actually find the blade a little bit there. At the very tick, you can hear it. I think the ref crediting that as his parry. Ooh, that was pretty. Cheeky little bunk on the arm, on the wrist as he sneaks out. Probably attack left. Although he kind of stopped halfway, enough to get the touch. Everybody relax, settle down, reset. Park finish. Equalizes 6-6. Ooh. Park did that speedy attack off the line again. Maruel saw it coming or predicted it coming this time. Pulled distance. Park whipped and easy counter attack from Maruel. That's definitely Maruel's. Yeah. And we get a break. I keep forgetting to give a break at 8. I keep waiting for them to get back online. You are online and watching Fencers, get online. Goes for the counter, kind of chop on the back line. Good at him not to just walk off, honestly. If I was a Saber Fencer, have a really hard time with that. Ooh, just straight up gives up the attack without finishing. Really phenomenal defense from Park to equalize. Merriwell is giving up the middle a little too easily. And I understand why, because he's been burned by it a bunch. But I'd like to see him work for more right of way wins in the box. I think I did the stats. It was something like 80% of wins have right of way. %70 with my stats in the database of touches are with right of way in Saber in all weapons. In all weapons. Probably in all weapons. And that's got to be a lot more obviously in Saber than in Epee. But ooh, straight in there from Park. Merlo consistently just a little bit off the line, a little slow off the line. Maybe you just got to work with what he's got. If you can't win off the line, it's better not to try. Oh, don't look at the box! Don't look at the box! Yeah, there it is. So yeah, just better off the line there from Park. Uh, Park attack. No. Alangua. Counter attack with Park finds the parry. The blades get a little tangled, but it's still a parry, and then riposte. Alangua really wild. Up and down and in and out. It's good for Saber. And but Park just holding distance, waiting to finish. Ooh, excellent parry from Alangua. That's really the advantage of that. Nope. Good attempt from Park. Looked like Olangua was stuck in place in the air, but I saw a chaos video that jump really well. It does is let you really focus on blade work for as long as you're in the air. So Olangua had the time to see it coming because he wasn't worried about his feet, and then hit the counter. And now he wants to attack no. I think he was saying is he hit here and then here. So if the first attack missed, second attack hits. And no. Attack Park. Attack no from Langwa. Attack arrives from Park. A really good stop too. Like we saw in the last part with I'm not even going to put his whole name. I'm just going to put Olangwa. That's too much space. This probably goes by Fernandez. We were starting the last bout with Merriwell. Park went forward, fast off the line. He's doing the same first step, but now he's stopping. Olangwa is attacking into that stop in a different way than Merriwell did, and so Park has adjusted to it, but it's not. But it's the same first step, so it's hard to deal with because it always looks the same. Olangwa just confused. He thought Parker was going to go backwards, so he stopped his attack. Easy parry or post. Techno again from Olangwa. He's doing like the hard part. He's getting the setups. He's just never finishing. I think Olangwa did manage to finish that time. Same basic idea as every other touch, but this time Olangwa went a little bit deeper and finished his attack. Garrett, 81 views. That's a lot of views for me. Oh, he gave it to him. Thought it would. Sorry about that. A few too many clicks. Ooh, that was a weird one. I guess he's giving it to Olangwa. Okay. Neither one of them really committed to that. They both started long attacks. Oh, duck 5. Those are pretty. Duck 5 and jump 2, the swaggiest parries in fencing. 5 is the high line used to go like this. Crossing or stepping off? Stepping off. This is like it's not the big issue in Saber is obviously the rampant corruption and bribing of refs, and you should write your federation and tell them to complain about this. But one of the smaller issues is that fences keep stepping off, and then their opponent gets the attack, because it's such a big advantage to have right of way. So if you lose right of way and then you step off, your opponent loses right of way, which is a big advantage. I also think we should move the on-guard lines farther away. I think we would get more interesting actions in the middle, and we would see more long attacks, which are always fun. Yep. Straight attack from Park, that same fast acceleration. Olangwa really quick on his feet going in and out. Park starting a long attack but kind of overcommitting. And a good counterattack from Olangwa. Okay, it's going to Park. I think I kind of want to say Park stopped there. Like Park went and then stopped, and then Olangwa went. Fernandez, I guess we decided we're calling him. That's oh, parry post. No, that's attack post. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Park stops and Olango goes through and disengages the parry. Ooh, Olango got the parry, but a little bit late. That lunge is such a powerful weapon from Park. That super fast acceleration. It's catching everybody off guard. So there it is again. Hey, Fritz, welcome. All right, and we're into the semis. If you're just joining us and your name is, for example, Fritz, we are watching the men's épée from day one of the University Games. Park Sang-won on the right won. We're going to watch him win. So far, what we've noticed is that he's got an extraordinarily fast accelerating lunge. That's just a little bit shorter than the classic Koreans, but still an enormous weapon. And of course, great box sense. But that's just the game of saber fencing. It's great box sense. There's that fast lunge. It is men's saber. Didn't I say men's saber? What did I say? It was women's épée before. That's really good. I don't even know how Mark didn't even manage to get a light on. Like title. This is a problem when TPR is in here is that I forget to do everything. I guess you just woke up, huh? You're still out on the West Coast? Ooh, excellent pull from Park. It's that first step we talked about, right? It always looks the same, and then you can, slow attack, fast attack, stop from it. Not that Shanko doesn't have his own games. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's early. Attack to Shanko. Yeah, it takes a lot to see what's going on. Attack to Shanko. I don't blame Park for asking for a video here because Shanko is really, really holding his arm back and almost even pulling it back as part of the attack, and that works in foil, but it's much more likely to lose you right of way in in saber. If you want to go back to the past of the video, we watched Kensia win, and that was a really good hour and a half or so of épée. Uh, yeah, okay, that's reasonable. Yeah, holding a good long lunge from Park. This is looking pretty easy for him. I think he went. That first bout was his hardest, honestly. The 32. Ooh. So we talked about this before a while back. You can get You get remises a lot more easily than you used to be able to 10 years ago. Hold, yep, attack arrives. And so Park took over the attack again, saw the counterattack coming, went to take a parry for his six touch, and then just whipped post from Schenkel, and now we're starting to get us back into a bout. Anyway, the trick to watching Saber is to just experience it and then try to parse it afterwards. Oh, I don't know. I thought that was kind of simultaneously. I guess we haven't seen a single simultaneous all bout, but then again, I don't think we've seen any that should have been until now. Should not be cracking my knuckles on Mike. Ooh, good pull from Schenkel. And he's equalized. It's something we bet ourselves about. Um, it's gonna be interesting what happens in the second period because this is as close as you can get going into the second period, and so it's interesting how each coach helps them adjust. Ooh, okay. I thought he got that in, but I guess not. Hmm. So Shenko's kind of guessing, and it's kind of bad nowadays in Saber. You want to be able to see it if you can. Like there, he gets a long attack from Park and tried to counter, and Park stopped. And there he gets stopped from Park, and Park went straight. So because Park's lunge is so incredibly fast, he's able to accelerate. He's able to not accelerate. He's able to accelerate. Yeah, that's what makes the lunge fast. He's able to hold his decision point longer than Schenkel. And so unless Schenkel, it's frankly lucky and a little bit um lucky, and then every once in a while he's able to do it. But pretty consistently, Park's just always able to pick the right option because he's seeing what Schenkel is doing first. Yeah, so it's attack, stop from Schenkel, then Park goes, and then Schenkel immediately tries to, but like Schenkel stops and then goes, but Park just goes. And so Schenkel went first, which meant attack no. Okay, so Park searched, Schenkel searched, but Park had gone first, so his right of way, so he lost right away because he searched on his attack and then Schenkel hit. Good straight attack from Schenkel there. He's putting up a fight, but Got it. Last time. Horvath Park. Yes. Okay. No, that's not what I want. That's what I wanted. Should put out an every touch video for this. Why not? Straight attack from Park. Very well done. Straight attack from Horvath. That got parried and then somehow got through anyway. He only gets one touch for that though. Straight attack from Horvath. Falls short. So you can see really, because this is so different, where Park and the other ones have been this big jumpy. Horvath is taking these incredibly tiny steps. And it's not really working out for him, but it is certainly a novel, different technique. Finish from Sangwan. Just a lack of, I don't know, it screams a lack of commitment for me, these small steps from Horvath, and it's slowing him down on top of it. So I'd want to see how he won up to this point. See, that one's, I don't know, I think he's a little shattered. That was definitely one that he should have been able to parry. But it's the same super fast lunge from Park, and I don't think Horvath has the speed for it. Bigger steps now. That's good. Ooh, 100 views. Huzzah. If I've ever hit 100 before. I want to see Horvath going faster. We didn't get it. We got Park pushing. And it's completely dominating. Finally, a good one from Horvath. Much faster off the line, I feel like. I wasn't watching his feet, though. Attack arrives, which, that's the right call, but it's weird that all of a sudden Park is falling for this. Bigger steps, faster steps, looks better. Not quite enough though. Look at the back-to-back video reviews. Quality of life improvement for certainly the Olympics, which was weird that they fell on this, is that the ref has to go like a minute away to look at the video. It should definitely be a lot closer. Certainly in soccer as well, where they have to run halfway across the field. It's awful. But I'm a fencer, not a soccer player, so this is what I care about. Yeah, that's attack from Park. Horvath just always committed off the line, never stopping to look. So it was really bad when he was like taking these tiny committed steps off the line. Now he's better at that, but he's not looking at all. It's all very eyes closed. Although that was a really good parry and then long attack. Ooh, good parry. Called a straight attack, but if Sengwan had hit, it would have been his touch, I think. Attack arrives. Yeah, no. Park just a little bit faster off the line, just like he's been all day long. Come on, make the call. Yeah. Ooh, good counter there from Horvath. Getting a little bit of his respect back. Straight attack in from Horvath. Straight attack in from Park. I'm sorry. Horvath just confused and demoralized. That arrives from Horvath. Park, I think, has kind of taken his foot off the brake a little bit. He's just foot off the gas a little bit. He's just kind of doing stuff, thinking it'll be enough to get him a victory, which is not great for the finals. Attack and parry to poster at Sush, but you know, he's really good off the line. Good timing on the counterattack, but Park looking for it. Finds the blade, and now he is one touch away with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left on the clock, which is weird because they don't usually start the clock in Saber. I just noticed that. They are not deadly. They are dull. And not even dull. They're just like, there's just no edge on them at all. If you hit really hard with it, you can get a bruise. That's really all that happens. Okay, that is everything we're going to do tonight because I'm tired. Thank you all for tuning in. Check out my sponsor, Klingen.de, for blades and gloves and socks and wireless fencing equipment and one-on-one personal lessons, which you can also get from me directly. Have a good day. I'll see you guys probably this week for the World Championships, which are going to be a lot of fun.